It all began for Smokey Rivers when he was a kid, sitting in his bedroom in Ohio and listening to the top 40 stations booming in from Chicago, Detroit, New York, and Nashville. The next logical step? Right after graduating from high school, Smokey enrolled in the Columbia School of Broadcasting. Several jobs in and around Columbus, Ohio followed, and in 1990, Smokey was hired by Susquehanna Radio to do afternoon drive at WGH, their new country station in Norfolk, Virginia. After ascending to the post of program director, Smokey was sent to Texas and KPLX in Dallas, where he was named program director. Before long, the decision was made to retool the station, which was relaunched as The Wolf in 1998. The station became the top-ranked country station in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. For several years, the most listened-to country station in America, with Smokey serving as assistant PD, music director, and midday personality. Over the past 25 years, The Wolf has received 3 Marconi Awards for the best country station, while spotlighting Texas artists like Pat Green, Miranda Lambert, The Chicks, and Jack Ingram, with Smokey still holding down the midday shift. Please welcome Smokey Rivers to the Texas Radio Hall of Fame.
I've had one consistent, encouraging voice throughout the 40-plus years that I've been in this business, and that would be my wife, Lori. She's been beside me throughout my entire career and has never balked at making a move when things were good and things were bad. She was always there. She's my center and my true north. A valuable sounding board and an amazing mother to our kids. Always holding down the fort when I was out hawking 20 ribeyes for $20. Whatever it is I had to do on a Saturday, she always took care of business, and she made the past 40 years easy, even when the times weren't. I love you, babe. My favorite song says, I need you more than I want you, and I want you for all time. So, I also want to thank my kids, Tyler, Madison, and Claire, for turning into terrific human beings, and they have open hearts and open minds, and they make me smile every day. And I want to thank everybody here that voted for me. I'm humbled and honored to be entering the hall with these amazing people. So many of my contemporaries are here, competitors. We've had a blast together. A huge thank you to folks like Greg Sachs and Steve Harmon for their guidance and support, and of course, a huge thank you to John Trepane. John is the one who really took the bull by the horns and made this amazing day happen for me. John, I will always be in your debt, even though I'm not a reporter anymore. I can't help getting Push Week anymore. But I'll never forget this. Thank you kindly. I want to thank the folks that said yes to me over the past few years when I came looking for work. Nelson R. Embry and P.J. Ryle at Circleville, Ohio, my very first radio station, playing beautiful music and running the board for Redskins. Paul Douglas and Lima Damon Sheridan in Columbus. Max Raines in Lancaster, Rob Ryan, who hired me in Columbus and also in Richmond, and Bishop Michael Scalzi, who hired me in Harrisburg. Russ Shell and Mike Carter, who brought me to Virginia Beach, and Bill Whitlow, who was the general manager in Virginia Beach, gave me my first PD and my first operations manager stripes. And then Dave Kennedy, Larry Grogan, and Dan Halliburton, and the great Susquehanna Radio Corporation that brought me to Dallas in 1995. These people all gave me a chance to prove myself, and I'll always be eternally grateful for all the opportunities that have been presented to me over the years. Thank you to Dan Bennett. Dan, I've spent over 2 decades working with Dan. Working with, not working for. You work with Dan. Dan has always fought hard for the Wolf and what the radio station stood for. And I thank you for everything, Dan. My career really started with Susquehanna, I think. I was in this business maybe 10 years doing what we all do, going from town to town. But when I joined the Susquehanna Radio Corporation, when I was in Harrisburg, they owned stations in New York. And we would have people who would leave and go to Susquehanna and talk great things about the corporation. And so I tried to get on at WFMS in Indianapolis. And Russ Shell at the time said, I don't have an opening, but hold on, something's happening, and I'll let you know. Well, that thing happened to be Virginia Beach. A radio station that they had sold they were down to the general manager was the chief engineer and the bookkeeper, and that was it. They had sold the radio station, and the sale fell apart, and they had to take it back. And so they said, well, what are we going to do? Country. So Russ Shell was in Indianapolis and had come up with an idea for a competitor. If somebody was going to come after WFMS, what would that station be like? So that was the station we signed on in Virginia Beach. And our first book, we were dead last in the market. We got beat by an AM daytimer. This was a 93,000 watt FM radio station. Dead last in the market. Became top 3 in about 3 years. Made a lot of money for Susquehanna. And they propelled me to Dallas. And thanks to folks like Dan Halliburton, Brian Phillips, they resurrected the radio station, and I was able to stay on board through the changes from Capelex to Wolf. And what changes they were, man. We had world-class air staff, huge promotions, money out the wazoo, helicopters landing, and staff running out and handing money to people. It was crazy, and it was big fun, and it was something really to be a part of. And at the same time, we helped launch the Texas country movement. Took a lot of these Texas artists and gave them a national sounding board, and that was the real strength of the radio station. To all my friends who made the trip here, Dan, I gotta read the names here because Dan, Mike, of course, Mike Preston, my program director, Al Farb. Al, thank you for being here. Don, Dean, a lot of folks came from Dallas to see me here. This is my proudest day. It really is, and to see you all here really fills my heart. So I thank you all. It's an amazing, humbling honor to stand up here, and I can't believe I made it through. Thank you.